When Dr. Daniel Ellsberg decided to violate 13 years' worth of security clearances, embark on the largest public breach of top-secret documents in the 20th century, and likely spend the rest of his life in prison, he faced a problem. How to duplicate 7,000 pieces of paper many times over using 1969 technology. RAND, the California military think tank where Ellsberg held a position 2 steps removed from the President of the United States, didn't have a Xerox machine. The technology was 20 years old, but still not widely used. And it presented some obvious security issues for an agency dealing with ultra-classified materials. So Ellsberg, a thin 38-year-old man with wiry dark hair and features that resembled a more Semitic Paul Newman, needed help. He contacted Tony Russo, a mildly subversive Virginian co-worker, and Russo soon became the only other analyst at RAND who knew about and sympathized with Ellsberg's leaking plans. Russo found one of the newfangled photocopiers in the advertising agency of a friend who shared their anti-war agenda. Over the next year, Ellsberg would spend countless nights hauling RAND's papers out of the building in an inconspicuous briefcase, then standing in front of that primitive copier in a dark office, reproducing a secret history of America's involvement in Vietnam. The Pentagon Papers. It was tedious work. At first, Ellsberg tried to copy 2 pages at a time from one of the 47 bound volumes. But he found that the words near the spine were faded and distorted. So he resorted to disassembling the binder and photocopying the pages one by one. I tried to program my motions, he wrote in his memoir, Secrets. One hand picked up a page, the other fitted on the glass, top down, push the button, wait. Lift, move the original to the right while picking another page from the pile. This is all very familiar now, but it was a new technology then. It took a little extra time to put the top down and up, and I didn't know why it had to be done. Did it have to do with the copying quality, or was the light bad for the eyes? Was it dangerously bright? How did it work anyway? Was that particular green color some kind of radiation? There were complications. Ellsberg intended to give portions of the papers to several senators, and if necessary, the news media too. To make multiple copies, he would have to hand the papers over to a professional copying office, where they'd be subjected to the curious eyes of who knew how many clerks. Inconveniently, the papers were marked with glaring top secret stamps across their tops and bottoms, with more classified signifiers peppered throughout the margins of the monstrous classified tomes. So at first, Ellsberg cut off the heads and feet of the pages with scissors, later upgrading to a paper cutter. Then Russo suggested he tape strips of cardboard over the top and bottom of the photocopier's glass face, what Ellsberg would later refer to as declassifiers. Even then, some words were cut off by the declassifiers, and small, randomly interspersed top secret markings lingered on the edges of the pages. Ellsberg had to comb through the encyclopedia-sized pile to excise them. When he thought he was ready to hand the first briefcase-size fraction of the stack over to a New York copy shop months into his project, he riffled through the papers one last time and was startled to immediately find another page with an obvious, unsheared top-secret marking. He left the copy shop and retreated to a lunch counter where he surreptitiously pruned more top-secret remnants out of the papers while attempting to nonchalantly consume a sweet roll and a cup of coffee over the course of several hours. The process was punctuated by Ellsberg's periodic visits by the local police. Russo's friend in advertising wasn't particularly skilled at manipulating her office's security system, and the result was multiple silent alarms, an average of 3 a week, that brought in bored policemen to check on the distinguished-looking man who always seemed to be photocopying late at night. Ellsberg would casually cover the classified documents on the desk beside the copy machine, greet the policemen politely, and carry on his work as soon as they left. Ellsberg recruited Russo to help with the endless task, along with Russo's advertising friend, Ellsberg's second wife, Patricia, Even his 213.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.